On August 15, 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio detected a signal from deep space that was so powerful, so precise, and so unusual that the astronomer who found it circled the data and wrote one word in the margin: "Wow." On August 15, 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio detected a signal from deep space that was so powerful, so precise, and so unusual that the astronomer who found it circled the data on the printout and wrote one word in the margin: "Wow." 49 years later, no one has been able to explain it. The Big Ear radio telescope was part of Ohio State University's SETI program, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. The telescope scanned the sky continuously, listening for radio signals that didn't match any known natural source. On most nights, it heard nothing but the background noise of the universe. On August 15, it heard something else. The signal arrived at 11:16 p.m. Eastern Time. It lasted exactly 72 seconds, the maximum duration the Big Ear could observe a single point in the sky as the Earth rotated. The signal was narrowband, meaning it was concentrated on a single frequency, 1420.4556 MHz. That frequency is significant. It is the emission frequency of neutral hydrogen, the most abundant element in the universe. Scientists had long theorized that if an intelligent civilization wanted to announce its existence to the cosmos, it would broadcast at this frequency because any technologically advanced species would know to listen for it. It is, in a sense, the universal channel. The signal was 30 times louder than the background noise of deep space. It came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius, near the Chi Sagittarii star group, roughly 120 light-years from Earth. It displayed no characteristics of any known terrestrial or solar system source. It was not a satellite. It was not an aircraft. It was not a reflection of an Earth-based signal bouncing off space debris. Jerry Eman, the astronomer who discovered the signal while reviewing printout data 3 days later, recognized immediately that it matched every criterion that SETI researchers had established for a potential extraterrestrial communication. He circled the alphanumeric sequence 6EQUJ5, which represented the signal's intensity over time, and wrote "Wow" in red ink. The scientific community's response was immediate: observe the same spot again. If it was a deliberate signal, it should repeat. The Big Ear telescope was pointed at the same coordinates dozens of times in the following weeks. Nothing. Other radio telescopes around the world searched the same region. Nothing. Over the next decades, increasingly powerful instruments scanned that patch of sky hundreds of times. The signal never repeated. This is both the strongest evidence for and against an extraterrestrial origin. On one hand, a civilization attempting to make contact might send a continuous or repeating signal. A one-time burst seems inconsistent with deliberate communication. On the other hand, we have no way of knowing the transmission patterns of a hypothetical alien civilization. Perhaps they swept the signal across the sky like a lighthouse beam, and we happened to be in its path for 72 seconds. In 2017, astronomer Antonio Paris proposed that the signal was caused by hydrogen emissions from two comets, 266/P Christensen and 335/P Gibbs, that would have been in the vicinity of Chi Sagittarii in 1977. The comets, surrounded by large hydrogen clouds, could theoretically produce a signal at 1420 MHz. This explanation was initially accepted by some media outlets as solving the mystery. It was not widely accepted by the scientific community. Multiple astronomers pointed out that comets do not produce narrowband signals of the intensity observed. The hydrogen emission from a comet would be diffuse and weak, nothing like the sharp, powerful burst detected by Big Ear. Paris's own observations of the comets in 2017 detected signals far weaker than the WOW signal. As of today, the WOW signal remains unexplained. It is the strongest candidate for an extraterrestrial radio signal ever detected. It matched every theoretical criterion for alien communication. It has never been replicated, debunked, or satisfactorily explained by natural phenomena. The Big Ear telescope was demolished in 1998 to make way for a golf course. The spot where humanity may have received its first message from another civilization is now the seventh fairway of a housing development called the Golf Club at Little Turtle. Jerry Emmon, who is now retired, has said he does not believe the signal was extraterrestrial in origin. He also says he cannot explain what it was. When asked what he thinks caused it, he gives the only honest answer available: we don't know. And we may never know. Somewhere in the direction of Sagittarius, 120 light-years away, something produced a 72-second radio signal on a frequency that only an intelligent civilization would choose. It spoke once. And then it went silent. If you found this fascinating, subscribe for more stories like this. We post new videos every week.